Pete Garces, my brother from another mother of another color.
Now, I am pleased to have an opportunity to make some comments about Pete Garces.
I mean, that is a huge honor, something your boys have grew up to be proud of forever, knowing that their dad was one of the baddest to ever do it.
Very, very rarely do you have on a football team that your kicker is your best player.
You know, he came on campus, tremendous personality, outgoing, gregarious, and easily transitioned from his San Diego roots to Pocatello and to ISU campus.
I'll tell you, I can't tell you how many times that I knew that when Pete was coming in for a 50, 60-yard field goal, that was a guaranteed 3 points. Is that the team knew it, the fans knew it, and everybody knew it.
Because his phenomenal leg, tremendous strength, and then he had the personality.
Pete, not only are you one of the best players in the nation, you're also one of the best people I ever met in my life.
Not only is he one of the best kickers, I think, in Idaho State's history, it's possible that he could be one of the best kickers of all time in football.
Pete was never one to be shy and to not step forward. He was always willing to participate.
And I always admire how you were. You were just good to everybody. You were just a good dude.
And so he also participated in many community activities, team activities.
I want to congratulate you and the family. Again, it's a huge honor, man. Salute.
Congrats, Lori, on being inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'm so excited for you.
When I think about Lori Mendenhall, a couple of things I think about the most is how competitive she was.
Off the court, she was just so fun and just such a good time, always cracking jokes.
But she competed, and to me that's one of the things that stands out about her, is how hard she competed, how competitive she was. And
once you got on the court, she was ready to compete and she wanted to win.
one of her qualities, aside from just being so competitive, that made her so good was she was quick. She could get to balls that a lot of setters might not get to.
And she really understood the game of volleyball and knew what it took to win.
She could get to balls that a lot of setters might not get to. She got to them and made a pretty darn good set.
Can't even describe how much I love her as a person and as a teammate. It was just such an honor to play with her, and she totally 100% deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
She found ways to make a team win.
And it was just a pleasure to play with Lori. Congrats, Lori.
And we were fortunate to have her, that's for sure.
Hey, Rick Knoll. It's been 49 years since you and I played.
Rick quickly established himself as a leader and outstanding football player.
It's really an honor to be put into this Hall of Fame for Rick, and I feel very fortunate that he asked me to say a few words. You, Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Sky Conference.
He was also selected to the first team All-Big Sky Conference as a linebacker, and he was named Most Valuable Defensive Player in the Big Sky Conference in 1975.
Rick was a good football player. He was tough, physically, but more importantly, he was a mentally tough guy.
People that knew Rick would probably all describe Rick the same way. One, he's humble. He's intelligent. He was a leader.
It was an honor to play with you. So I gave him a nickname of Chester. So I named him after Chester, because Chester always would limp and follow Matt Dillon, and you never thought he could keep up with him, but when Matt needed him, he was always there.
Rick helped turn a program around from 2-8 before he arrived to a 7-3 record his senior year.
Chester, thanks for the honor of doing this. God bless you. Best of wishes, my friend. Welcome.
I'm glad to participate in this ceremony and have Rick's wife Ann, their kids, grandkids, family, and friends witness Rick Knoll be inducted into the Idaho State University Sports Hall of Fame.
She was always happy. She never seemed intimidated, never was scared, was just going to go out and run her best.
Even as an athlete, she was very competitive, did a lot of great things for our cross-country team and distance program.
She's well decorated in college and high school and post-college. She loves running.
The Big Sky Conference is really competitive in distance and has been for many, many years. But to have somebody of her caliber be a Big Sky champ is pretty impressive.
Our office in our home is just so full of trophies and plaques and and awards.
Nobody becomes a distance runner that isn't pretty tough mentally.
Never intimidated, never had an excuse. She just would perform at her level.
Erica continues to have an impact on our program here. She often will come and volunteer at meets and championships.
And so during one of her meets, with the coach's permission, I was able to propose to her at the finish line.
And we thankful for all you do to give back to us.
Whenever she goes running out in the country where we live, our children always ask if we can go cheer on mommy.
You are the type of athlete that made me better as a coach. Thank you.
And for our children who are old enough to understand now, to see their mom receive this recognition, I hope that it inspires them.
Erica, we'd like to congratulate you on your induction into the ISU Hall of Fame, and we welcome you with open arms into that prestigious group.
Congratulations, Erica, on your selection to the Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, Erica. I love you.
I am so grateful for the opportunity I had to play for him.
I had the opportunity of meeting Coach Tigert this past season. Him and a few players from his 2013 conference championship team.
I have so many amazing memories of playing for Chad.
It was just great getting to spend time with him and seeing the relationship that he built with his players.
One day I noticed how for all of our away games, Chad would wear his orange shirt and his tie and always Idaho State stuff. And then for our home games, he always would wear the other team's colors that we played.
Sit and talk with him and see that, you know, just the grit that his teams played with.
And one day I went and I asked him and I said, Chad, why are you wearing the other team's colors? And he looked at me and he said, well, Lori, don't you think they ought to feel welcome?
It's been really cool getting to see that, getting to hear testimonials from his players that played for him. And I think that's the biggest testament to the job that he's done.
That is just my favorite story about Chad because it perfectly sums up the type of person he is and the type of coach he was.
Getting to hear from a few of his players and just the impact he had on their life is something that inspires me and our program that hopefully we will continue.
He always cared so much about his players and so much about the people around him.
Coach, I just want to send my personal congratulations along with the rest of the Idaho State women's volleyball team.
And that made him the most successful coach he could be.
Hopefully someday we can follow in your footsteps. Congratulations, Coach.
I mean, Mark is the ultimate Bengal.
Mark Liptak is one of the most talented individuals I have ever worked with.
Mark treats everybody and treats his craft like it is the most important thing going on.
Mark Liptak has devoted a good portion of his lifetime to describing ISU's athletic activities to the Southeast Idaho public.
You know, live sports broadcasting is incredibly difficult, and he's one of these people that makes it sound effortless.
Mark has really been the keeper of the ISU women's basketball history and culture.
He has also been an advocate of ISU academics and student life activities.
And I've always really appreciated his efforts to really know the athletes, you know, about their lives outside of sport, and even what they're up to after they leave Idaho State University.
He is a stat head who annually revises ISU's women's basketball record book.
Like many great announcers, Mark is a great storyteller. You know, he's an artist at describing the scenery and removing the guesswork for our radio audience.
There's really nobody more identified with the ISU women's basketball program or more dedicated to the preservation of its history and its accomplishments.
From his taglines, coined phrases, and, you know, celebratory kabooms, you know, Mark, like all the greats, has a style that's all his own.
You know, once you're a friend with Mark, you're a friend with Mark for life.
And if you want to know the birth date of any former ISU player or coach, just ask him.
He is just the best dude ever.
Congratulations, Mark. As a fan and as a colleague, I'm forever grateful for your service to Idaho State University and to KISU.
Mark, welcome to the ISU Sports Hall of Fame.
Mark, I'm sorry I'm not able to be in Pocatello for your induction, but you have my full congratulations on your induction. Well done. And kaboom!